campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised. Oh, sorry, Ryan
We're
didn't
live.
listen to me, right?
I wanted to catch you off guard.
Ooh, I may have a little bit of some White Claw in my thing, so that just hurt.
Kimmy's drinking White Claw out of a coffee mug to make it look like she's drinking something
It's
fancy.
a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I saw an Instagram post that was like, pro tip, like blow into your margarita glass to make it look like you're drinking coffee, and it's like margarita inside of a big coffee glass. That's perfect.
I don't need these tips.
Yeah.
Because like I know if I just have the drink out during recording, we'll get comments. But like, nah, I try to be a little discreet with my Hufflepuff mug. We don't have any people on our stream because we're probably running late.
It's okay. We always start late. You know, it is what it is. But I'm gonna jump you with it this time. What'd you find Aloreing this week, Kimmy?
We gotta do our whole introduction.
Oh, shoot.
Shit,
we
Ryan.
Sure do. I'm way ahead of the game.
Oh, our patrons will love this. It's fine. So
right.
Ryan, we need to start before that. Hey, campers. My name's Kimmy.
And I'm Ryan.
Jesus Christ. Hey, everyone. My name's... No, let me do... I got this. Listen, we've been doing this for how many episodes?
I was like, that's not how the main episode layout goes.
Hey, campers. My name's Kimmy, and I'm here with my co-host, Ryan.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast that we've been doing for 43 episodes now, where we tell you the history and stories of different legends and lore from around the whole stinking world.
Oh, geez. You know, it was bound to happen where we would not start strong. And by we, I mean me. And that's okay.
We're doing our best. We're pushing through.
I was ready with everything else.
Yeah.
So it was bound to happen.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. We were almost on time today for our live stream, and then we were 15 minutes late. We pressed go on time, but then we realized we were not in fact ready.
I love doing these live streams, and every time I'm like, we're going to be on time today.
Yeah.
And every time it's like cool late though. Like 15 minutes late is cool late. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one wants to show up on time. That being said, if you're one of our audio listeners and you're like, oh man, I keep missing their live shows, you probably didn't. We probably haven't started yet. So catch our next one on YouTube.
If you're like, it's 7:05, they said they start at 6. I can guarantee you.
Yeah. No, we haven't even turned our computers on at that point.
We're just looking. I am currently panicking looking for the remote that colors the light in the office.
I like
because it's somewhere in
nice
here.
Purple background right now. It's looking nice.
Yeah, I'm like feeling purple. I really need to figure out the space. I really want to get like a flag. Yeah. Like a flag or two to put behind me. So y'all should check out the merch shop so I can get funding to get a flag for my background.
For our audio listeners, Kimmy is holding a blank white wall with nothing on it. I guess hence the blank white wall.
Is that like ASMR for you folks?
Can't really hear it, but Kimmy is now stroking the wall.
Yes.
So
some of you may be jealous. That's okay.
Yeah, this episode's going great. What do we do now?
What did you find Aloreing?
What did I
What'd you find Aloreing?
Stop me if I already used this one. I don't think I did, but I bought a hot tub. Did I already talk about this?
Ryan, you have not told me this.
So I went to Sam's Club and I was shopping for groceries as one does at Sam's Club. And instead I left with a 200-gallon inflatable hot tub. And it is the best. I've been soaking every night. I go to kickboxing, I get home, and it's just, it's square, and it's just long enough that if I lay diagonally, I can full lay down. It's so nice.
Ooh, that's nice.
I love it.
So I was like, do you use it after your workout? Because that is the best time to use a hot tub.
I use it a lot of other times as well. Catch me in it all weekend, but and this last week it's been raining. It even snowed by my house, which doesn't happen.
By your house?
Yeah, I live in the desert. For those who don't know, it doesn't snow here, but it has snowed 3 times this month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so global warming, I guess. But so I've been hot tubbing in the snow and the rain, and it's been the best.
Oh,
it's the best money I've ever spent.
Do you have any cool lights up around it?
I have a little I have string lights because it's on my back patio. But the best part, those gas station refrigerators they have by the checkout for drinks that they want you to buy at the last second.
Yeah.
I have one of those next to the hot tub. So to get a drink, I don't even got to get out. I just reach.
Right.
And there's a whole ass fridge there.
Oh my God.
It's the best.
That sounds like, I'm trying to think of a really good word to describe it. It's
Heaven? Paradise?
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the perfect description. I actually saw a TikTok of this girl, and she's and it was just in passing, right? So once it comes on my feed again, then I'll follow it, where she's making a vending machine for stickers.
Oh.
And I was and she's doing it out of cardboard, and I was
interesting.
A sticker vending machine is the most niche necessity I need in my life.
Yeah.
So my request is, can you put some stickers in the vending machine?
Yeah,
so
why
when
not?
you have company over,
they can
you're
get a drink,
have a drink, and you know what?
Sticker.
Treat yourself to a sticker.
Get yourself a nice Aloreing sticker from Aloreing.com.
Because I could see the coolest photo of your hot tub with the few lights and the lights from the vending machine.
Yeah, it's nice. I'll send you a photo, amazing. And I'll post a photo in the Discord too if I could figure out a way to take it without revealing my entire house. I'll do my best.
Just blur a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's it looks looking right in my back door, but I'll figure it out.
It's like a puzzle piece. You have to put the picture pieces together.
Yeah.
Some are missing.
What did you find Aloreing this week, Kimmy?
Man, wow, so many things. I'll do, because I told you a little bit about it. I did a Shrek birthday party.
Yes, you did.
And it was just chill. It's really weird because whenever I do parties, I'm very itinerary based, where I'm oh, we have to have plan, like, this is when it's going to start, this is when I'm going to do this is game 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is break for people, this is when some people will leave, some will stay, this is, so like I'm very organized, and for this I'm like, I just want my house to look like a swamp, and I'm so mad I didn't take pictures because I may have gotten a little tipsy.
I was waiting for the Fiona pictures that never came. But that's okay.
I know. So I did like human Fiona, and Eddie, he was human Shrek.
That's fantastic.
And then my shout out to my D&D party, because they're the ones that came dressed to the nines, and I was like, I love each and every one. And my dearest friend Mads, I love her to pieces. She came as like the dragon, and she was so cute. One of my friends came as Prince Charming. Another one came as Puss in Boots. Yes. We had a Merryman and an Executioner.
Wow. I love how dedicated your friends are to like themed parties, because I love my friends here, but they would never. Right. Like, they dressed up for Halloween. That was about it.
The thing is, like, I do love my friends, and some of them that showed up just didn't dress up because it's not their personalities.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I call it the weeding of the folks, because what I do is I have my birthday party, and then I'll have like a midsummer party, and I see who's willing to dress up.
Yeah.
And then those who pass, those who RSVP or help or dress up or don't flake last minute, they get to go to the Potter party at the end of the year. They get the Hogwarts letter in front of their door. And so like this is how I filter for like the big party of the year.
Yeah.
Because that one takes so much work. And I was like, if you don't show up dressed up, I'm not going to deal with it.
Speaking of Harry Potter, where is Hogwarts again?
Oh, is it? Oh, no, it's in England.
Yeah, and oh man, I think England's in the United Kingdom. You know what else is in the United Kingdom? This was a stretch, I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. This is better than I would have done. Scotland?
Scotland. And speaking of Scotland, oh my goodness, that's this week's story. Cue those campfire sounds. I really was great. I was waiting for you to say anything that I can like think of a transition.
I was just about to. Yeah. You got there. You didn't even need me. I was just about to too. Nice. I was going to be like, it was a magical. It's a magical party, and you just were like,
I took the hard way.
Cutting off right now. I was like, you're going to turn right in 2 miles. You're like, left on the back road. Sounds great to me. Goodness.
Through solitary, they would like to stay. Oh, though solitary, they would like to stay. They may help those who lose their way. But don't misjudge these dark-haired fae, or you'll be the one that they betray. Morgan Aelf. What are we talking about?
So typically, it is ill-advised to travel the forest of Scotland's Northwest Highlands alone at night. But what if I told you it's safer for a child to roam the forest instead of an adult? That's because there's a fairy who roams the woods and is known to have a soft spot for kids at heart. If he stumbles upon... No, I'm going to say that again because I said that wrong. Sorry, Chris. You're already cutting things out. Okay. That's because there's a fairy who roams the woods and is known to have a soft spot in his heart for children. If he stumbles upon one lost in the forest, he will not only keep them safe, but he will help them find their way back home. But if you're an adult, be warned that he will not be as kind and you may find yourself trapped, never to be found again. So this would... I keep cutting you off. I'm doing great.
I was just making sounds. It's okay.
I know. It's because I may have had a little bit of a drink, so my social awareness is a little farther.
Our special juice tonight.
It's my special juice in my Hufflepuff mug. Because, hey, everyone, guess what Ryan's Hogwarts houses and put it in our Discord. He's not going to say it. I'm just curious what you all think.
No one will guess correctly.
I feel like everyone knows I'm a Hufflepuff, but...
Well, yeah. You're the most obvious Hufflepuff.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, take it how you will.
Take it with everything else. It's what it is, well, we promise we'll get to this episode eventually, you guys. So for everyone that is watching, here is my lovely Ghillie Dhu illustration. For all of our amazing audio listeners, you can check it out on our Instagram, or you can go to our website and look at it on the blog. For the OG Aloreing fans that have seen this before, this is a revamped version, because it used to be in a circle bottle and now it's in a rectangular triangle bottle, and it has some like lighting and shading, and it's a little bit fancier. So I love this one so much, and I may have already made myself a sticker of it because it makes me happy.
I think I have the old one on my bottle.
Oh, I'll get you a new one.
But I don't have the bottle with me. Not bad.
Betrayal.
I know.
It's okay.
That worked.
You had one job.
Yeah. Anywho.
So this week we'll be talking about Ghillie Dhu, a male fairy from Scottish folklore. This kindred forest spirit was a major part of Scottish folklore during the late part of the 18th century and can be found roaming the southern ends of the Loch Adrien near Gairloch. Legends of him fade over time, but many still believe he can be found roaming the forest at night to this very day. Now, I was having a little bit of a hard time reading there because I realized it was 1 point font size smaller. So
threw off the entire operation.
I was like, my eyesight is not that bad. I'm a millennial. I'm getting up there, you guys. So the rest is 10 points, so we're good now. So the legends and possible origins of Ghillie Dhu are believed to date back to the 18th century throughout the Gaelic area of Scotland. The story tells of a young male fairy who was believed to be banished by the fairy queen from the Fey realm. And as a result, he now roams around the countryside near human settlements and keeps to himself. While roaming the woods, he is known to lend a helping hand to those in need and to protect children that have become lost in the dark woods. Now, I wish, oh, how I wish I could tell you more about where the hell this fae comes from, but I honestly couldn't find shit about the history or the origins of Ghillie Dhu, or honestly, like, anything. So this whole episode is us trying our best because it's just long enough to not be a lost tape. And I like it so much. I want it to be an episode. So just know everything is me just trying my best to connect stuff like Ryan connected my Aloreing take to the episode topic. So buckle up, everybody. So, one of the main reasons Ghillie Dhu's story is so popular is because of how fairies were such a big deal in Scotland at the time. So, fairies play a major role in Scottish folklore. It seemed every loch or forest had an ancient fairy that protected it. There were hundreds of legends about fairies' mystical powers and how they protected nature, performed rituals, and even had the ability to contact the other world or the underworld. These tales spoke of their magical powers and how if a human upset one, it could result in crop failure, getting lost in the forest, dying, or becoming a fae slave for all eternity. And depending what book you read, that may be up to interpretation of how it will go down. All these tales were told to warn others to approach these mystical fairies with caution and always be on your guard when wandering through a field or forest by yourself. So the legend of Ghillie Dhu was one of many cautionary tales told amongst adults as a means to warn others about going into the forest with ill intentions. So Ghillie Dhu's popularity didn't last long though. Soon, Christianity and urbanization swept over Scotland.
I have a pretty good idea of science of the church later. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right off the bat, you know immediately what's going down.
I mean, we're talking medieval United Kingdom. Yeah.
Locked and loaded, that answer.
I'm ready.
Solidified. I need to start branching out from European folklore because it's just getting too easy for you now. I gotta shake it up again. It's always the church. Yeah. If you're not sure, it's going to be the church. Yeah. If your brain goes, that doesn't make sense, it's probably science.
Yeah, fair.
So, as Christianity and urbanization swept over Scotland, the more rural lifestyle became a thing of the past. It's also believed that his popularity faded because he no longer lived in the Highlands. It was rumored he actually immigrated to the forests of North America with the Scottish fur trappers to Canada in the late 1700s. And all the legends being told during the late 1800s were the stories coming to an end. So, though many locals still believe in Ghillie and that he resides in the Highlands and protects children of the forest, we may never know what really happened to this mystical fae, because he kind of just appeared and then disappeared, like in and out, you know?
Is Ghillie Bigfoot? Hear me out.
Right. It's too early in the episode.
That may have moved to North America. Where's Bigfoot? North America. Some people say it's a forest spirit. I'm just throwing it out there. That's my fan theory.
You're gonna hold on to this until I tell you his height.
Well, they didn't have accurate measurements back then.
From that, it's going to sound a lot like a Tinder profile.
Okay. Well, we don't know how tall Bigfoot is. We just know he has a big foot. He can be short and have a big foot. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I'll let you get back to your story now.
He says he's 5'7". No, he says he's 6 foot, but then you mean him and he's 5'6". So,
but 13-inch shoe.
13.
So
gotta have something going for him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
toes go all the way up.
Ghillie, Jesus Christ, why is this thing getting to me? It's so early in the episode. Oh my goodness. Okay, focused. Ghillie translates to lad or boy, and Dhu translates to dark or dark hair, which is because he's got messy, dark hair. So, Ryan, you need to get off this Bigfoot train. This is not where the show's going. There's no connection with Bigfoot. So his name can also be translated to dark servant, and this is due to his sometimes dark temperament and how he serves the forest. Also, when I was researching stuff, I was spelling Ghillie like Ghillie.
Yeah.
And I was having the hardest time finding anything. And then I found the other spelling for it, which was Gille, then Dubh. And I found so much more content. So if you want to research more about him, it's
not spelled like Ghillie suit. It's spelled Gille, right? So just as a precursor, because this is my second time writing notes about him, and I found so much more the second time just from changing the name spelling. So always look up all the different ways to spell a creature's name. So there is some royal family drama associated with this name too. So when researching the word Ghillie Dhu, it was a term used in code song to symbolize the Stuart hair royal line. So when future Charles II, son of the executed Charles I, was in exile following the English Civil War, Charles was given the code name Ghillie Dhu because of his dark black hair.
As time went on, this code name was transferred to his younger brother, James the... Is that 7?
Yeah,
I think that's 7. James the 7th, after Charles was exiled following the rebellion that put his daughter Mary and her husband William of Orange on the throne. So Ghillie Dhu was pretty much like exiled child for a nickname. Like, you've been banished, so we are going to refer to you as Ghillie Dhu, which is really cool because it's very similar to the original story of him being banished from the Fae realm. Oh. So I thought that was a very cool little tie-in. Now that's all I got for my first part. So it's Ryan's turn.
All right. So this first one takes place in October of 1967 when a photographer named Roger Patton discovered Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest.
Ryan, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Kimmy. This is why we do video.
For anyone watching, I just gave Ryan the death stare. And that doesn't happen very often.
So this first one is actually a Highlands storybook. So most reported accounts of Ghillie takes place in the latter half of the 18th century, but it was so difficult trying to find any. We were only able to find one written account of Ghillie Dhu encounter, which can be found in Osgood Mackenzie's memoir, 100 Years in the Highlands. You know, you spend 100 years anywhere, you're bound to see something. Mackenzie was a Scottish landowner.
Especially at a time where glasses aren't as poppin',
and there was just mushrooms everywhere. Mackenzie is a Scottish landowner and expert gardener who had a brief encounter with Ghillie firsthand. He speaks of how he isn't your typical fairy, being both shy and wild all at once. Now, there's one story encounter that is so commonly told in association with Ghillie, and though short, is believed to be how this fae became so popular. And this is Ghillie and Child. All right. So one summer evening, a young girl by the name of Jessie McCrae had wandered into the forest. Being a local to the area, she went out to play in the warm sun that peeked between the forest trees. But as the sun set and day became night, the poor girl had found herself lost deep in the thick forest. Tired, scared, and lost with no way out of the woods, she began to cry.
Same.
Yeah, same. That is when a soft voice from behind a tree spoke up. What appeared to be a disheveled boy with rosy cheeks and dark hair asked why she was crying. Though a face full of tears, she explained how she was lost and scared. The kind stranger told her, "Stop crying," and how it will all be okay. What she didn't know, Kimmy, is this was none other than Ghillie Dhu, and he was determined to help this child. He explained how he knew the woods like the back of his hand, and he could lead her home if she told him where she lived. Jessie told him.
Deadass, I thought you were going to say Bigfoot. Deadass, I thought you were building up to Bigfoot.
Turns out.
And I was just getting disappointed.
Turns out Jessie lived in the Oregon Mountains in North America. And Bigfoot crossed the land bridge. No. Jessie told him where she lived, and he quickly helped guide her through the forest. He moved quickly with a slight dance in his step, helping lead her through the dark forest and arriving home before sunrise. Now, before I continue this story, if we have any young listeners in our audience, first off, don't get lost in the woods. But if you do, maybe be cautious before you tell a random stranger where you live. But again, I guess if you're lost in the woods, you know, like, you gotta figure that out. So, you know,
For all the young listeners that just breezed past our introduction that said this is not a show suitable for young campers.
Yeah.
They are definitely not going to listen to any words of caution we may have.
Fair enough. Just tell them where you live, I guess. I don't know. I'm not your parents. Once they arrived at the edge of the woods, Jessie pointed out her home near the loch. Ghillie, happy he was able to help, said goodbye to the girl and said if she ever got lost in the forest, he would come to her rescue. Well, he's just asking her to get lost in the forest. Running back into the forest with a light skip in his step, he told the girl to never forget him. Jessie said goodbye to Ghillie as he disappeared back into the forest, running home in a much better mood. Being a child, she told her family of what happened. This led the landowner, Sir Hector Mackenzie of Gaelic, inviting a group of 5 Mackenzie dignitaries to hunt down, capture, or kill the Ghillie Dhu. Now, that seems unfair. Hey, Dad, this guy saved me in the woods. Okay, let's kill him.
Well, like, there's a few other versions, and there's some where the head person of the hunting party just wanted to, like, have a fae mount in his house, essentially. So he was like, oh, let's just go kill him. And I'm like, that doesn't justify it either.
Yeah. No, not necessarily.
Save my daughter, I'll shoot you. You know, like, it's just...
Yeah, there might be some more going on here. So these hunters went off into the forest searching far and wide, but thankfully for Washington's gun laws, they weren't able to shoot at
Stop it.
Searching far and wide throughout the night, trying to locate this Ghillie Dhu. But no matter what stone they turned or tree they looked behind, they should have tried turning the trees. Ghillie was never to be seen again. So what makes this story unique is Ghillie actually talks to the little girl. There have been many sightings of Ghillie over a period of 4 decades, but Jessie was the only one who conversed with him. So that's fun. And I think...
Sorry, I needed a drink from all that.
I thought Bigfoot. You were frozen. That's all right. All right. If you would like to read a charming, detailed version of this story, check out the book Wonder Tales from Scottish Myth and Legend by author Donald Alexander Mackenzie. We will also have a link to this story on the website or the blog. Also to a very short little YouTube video that like tells this story that has like fun little animations. Yeah, I forgot to switch the slides. There's an animation from that YouTube video. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look exactly like your animation style, but the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this gives Kimmy vibes. You see it?
I think the best thing about it is that that's because the story I'm writing is Slavic folklore inspired.
Oh.
So like it makes me happy because that means through all my research I'm kind of getting the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain it more than that. But like she even has red hair. I was like, it's perfect. Yeah, so that makes me happy because I absolutely love the like it's dark but romantic kind of art style. And I'm here for it. Oh, am I frozen?
If you want to reset your camera while we do... Are we doing while we... Oh, wait.
No,
I have a poem.
You have one more.
Yeah, I have a poem.
You have a poem.
There's the nice picture. All right. Here's a poem while Kimmy resets her camera, which I think you just got... Yeah, there you are.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rot from
MH, you're the real MVP.
Yeah. Shout out MH. Chris, you can cut all that out. My bad. I can't do a Scottish. I was gonna try. I can't do a Scottish accent. I apologize to the listeners who were waiting for it. Rot from star Dulvin iron, quenched in sap in the Beithe, twas tidlock, gift of the Ghillie Dhu. Did I do it? Young Duncan took care of all the birchwood. I lost it. I had it. I lost it.
Like,
Ghillie Dhu.
maybe like if one of the actors from Always Sunny was trying to do a Scottish accent, where it's just a little offensive, but
Young
you're there.
Duncan took care. It's all right. I'm like 5% Scottish. Young Duncan took care of his old birchwood, kept poachers and oxmen at bay, gaining the love of the Beithe-bound Ghillie Dhu. When young Duncan, his love sworn, I read that as love sword, his love sworn abducted for the jealousy of the wicked Black Donald, sorrow and pity was the old Ghillie Dhu.
Freudian slip.
Poor young Duncan, no sword to his name, and the might of the Black Donald no earthly man dare. He need of Dwimmer, crafty, the clever Ghillie Dhu. Ancient hammer bows thundering in the hoar, echoing in leafy halls. Don't worry about it. Came forth the fey, deadly blade of Ghillie Dhu. Cold black iron, heaven born, shimmering vein stars, silver bright, bold was the hilt of Ghillie Dhu.
The first time I read this was very like, I'm going to battle this forest creature.
Yeah.
And reading it was very, I'm going to fuck.
Well, he did use, you know, he did have a love sword for some reason.
Everyone that is single on a dating app, please go update your profile saying you have a love sword or you're looking for a love sword.
My love sword will abduct Ghillie Dhu. Quenched in the sap of the Beithe. Look, they didn't have a lot to do in medieval times, so they just made erotic poetry that was
with their love story.
Yeah, that they were talking about battle, but we all know what's going on here. Bold was the hilt, Kimmy. I mean, come on. Shimmering vein stars, like, oof. There's some unpacking to do here.
Did I actually put an erotica?
The cold black iron of his shimmering veins, quenched in the sap of the Beithe, was Todlick, gift of the Ghillie Dhu. Took care of his old birchwood, gaining the love of the Beithe-bound Ghillie Dhu. So we've all learned something today. That poem was called The Gift of the Ghillie Dhu, by the way. I don't know if that helps or hurts the situation. And we've broken Kimmy.
That's all it took. Holy shit. That's the funniest fucking thing. Oh my god.
Ancient hammer bows thundering in the hole.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Holy shit. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Just cut a commercial. I need a minute.
All right. Well, we're going to cut to a quick commercial while Kimmy catches her breath.
It's the gift of Ghillie Dhu.
While everyone's listening to these commercials, just remember the shimmering veins of Ghillie Dhu.
Can I do a sword for merch? That's all like pretty and
super
Renaissance.
veiny and like
super veiny. This is the veins.
There'll be like 2 people in the world who get the joke, but it'll be...
I'm going to do a cool looking Renaissance sword, and it's going to have vines around it. It's going to be the vein of Ghillie Dhu. The gift of Ghillie Dhu. The gift of Ghillie Dhu. And only so few people will know the joke. It will be marketed next to the Thy Bread collection. It will be so great.
Well. Look what Kimmy put for aloreingshop.com today. That would be our Bigfoot, aka our Ghillie Dhu collection. Do I have my hat? No. Wait, yeah.
I'm so mad that I put the Bigfoot in there and it relates to what you've been talking about.
Bigfoot says, "Leave no trace, folks," and that's important. Leave no trace when you go camping. You could leave no trace by bringing a hat that reminds everyone around you not to leave a trace. And that's really all I got to say about that. I'm still stuck on the Veiny sword. I don't really know how we recover. That's this episode title, right? Is the Veiny sword of Ghillie Dhu. The Veiny hammer of Ghillie Dhu.
How can I make that a thumbnail and not get flagged for it?
Just Ghillie Dhu holding a hammer that's like flesh colored. We'll figure it out. I'll start it with love sword. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, we're going to go back from commercial break now. So everyone be cool. Everyone be cool. All right. MH, be cool. Be cool. Be cool. We got focus. We got focus in and finish this episode. All right. And we're back. Welcome back to Ryan and Kimmy's Erotic Folklore Hour. I'm your host, Ryan, here with my co-host, Kimmy. Kimmy, what's your favorite Veiny hammer?
I just recovered. Oh, there's a podcast I really like called Sexual Tension. Sexual Tension or something like that. I gotta reach out to them because
I would love to have them on the show and they just read erotic, not erotic folklore poems.
I'm gonna reach out to her.
Yeah, that's our third podcast. It's gonna be breaking down old folklore poems to see if they were actually discovering folklore or if they were just a little horny.
Oh my god. Wow. Lord, give me strength.
You know what I was wondering though? What does Ghillie Dhu look like?
Yeah, so let's get into his appearance and history. Thank you guys for being patient over that break because I needed it. So Ghillie Dhu is a wee folk. Listen, he stands at 3 feet tall, so no Bigfoot.
Well, what if Bigfoot is like his feet are 3 feet and Ghillie Dhu just kind of flops around and leaves 3 foot footprints.
Like a fit?
Yeah.
How are there 2 footprints then that are?
He's a fae. I don't know, Kim. He just does whatever he wants. One's his hammer and one's him.
He has the appearance of a young, disheveled boy. His hair is black. His hair is black and messy. He has hazelnut dark brown eyes, and his skin changes from shades of brown to green depending on the season. He has rosy, apple-colored cheeks and the cutest dimples you ever did see. Regarding his clothing, he can be found. Sorry, I'm really just trying to recover, and the chat.
We broke during the break.
Ooh, okay. We talked about what he looks like. Let's talk about his clothes. So he can be found sporting a cloak covered in leaves and moss, which allow him to easily hide amongst his favorite trees, the birch tree. I want everyone listening to close your eyes, and I want you to picture Peter Pan from a high quality Broadway production. Okay. Now we're going to sprinkle in some Once Upon a Time. So he's a little bit more grungy, a little bit more moody, a little bit more sultry, and add a magic cloak. And that's Ghillie Dhu for you. That's the best way to describe him. And now, One of the reasons he loves hiding amongst the birch trees is because he is a guardian of the trees of the forest. So he roams around the forest watching over the trees and only eating berries and nuts that they provide. He is also known as a timid and wild fae that means no harm and has a soft spot for those who are lost in the forest, especially children. So he goes out of his way to comfort kids lost and will help them find their way back home. So, sweetheart. But just because he is shy doesn't mean he can't be pushed around. Much like a Scorpio learning about a friend double-crossing them, Ghillie Dhu becomes quite vengeful.
Classic Scorpio.
So if the moons have changed with you getting into astrology, and it's been a beautiful, beautiful change. Because the shit I would get, and now you're like, I get it. I understand. I've seen the light.
I still don't get all of it. I just like to say classic insert, but
Classic, one of the 12 zodiac signs.
This one checks out.
Yeah.
I know a couple of those.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Don't double cross them.
Then you don't double cross a Scorpio. So I can't tell if you're agreeing with me just to agree or you're really genuine about it, but I want to say
this one I'm serious.
This one you're serious? Okay.
They'll take you out.
I'll never know.
No, you won't.
If someone comes into the forest with intent to harm, Ghillie will go out of his way to get them lost and trapped in the forest. Legend says that he wraps long branch-like arms around them, squeezing and imprisoning them in the trees to suffer, and crushing them to become compost to feed the earth.
Now that is a Scorpio.
Yeah. Scorpio is going to get their tree arms and wrap it around you to suffocate you.
They all got them.
If you betray them. They all got it. Just turn off the lights and pray, and then that's all you can do at that point. So now, pull out your veiny sword to wear off a scorpion. So now, if he just wants to scare them, he will just kidnap them for like a few years before showing them a way out of the forest. So he definitely holds a grudge. So do not cross him. So why does Ghillie care for children but avoid adults? Well, tons of Scottish folklore says how fairies widely accept children, and when children cross over to the fairy realm, that's because they're lost in the forest. And fairies make sure they are well cared for and return home safely. So this kind of ties in to changelings a little bit too.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So fairies love babies, and I don't blame them because I also love babies. Babies are just so joyful and cute and make my heart happy, which also make Fae heart happy. So I may be a Fae, is what we're learning today.
A lot of things make sense.
I'm not actually a mermaid, you guys. I'm actually a fairy.
She's a Fae in mermaid clothing.
Yes. It's a lot of work to upkeep, but it's fine. Someone's got to do it. So the reason he's so kind to children could be because children don't seek to harm the Fae like adults do. And they can't really tell the difference between people. They haven't built up the judgment. They haven't learned how to put people in boxes yet. So everyone's just like, if they're good, they're good,
Yeah, I mean, even in my story, the girl had no problems with him. And then the second she gets home, her dad's like, we're going to go murder him.
The dad's like,
yeah,
let's go. That's my gun sound. It's so good, isn't it, you guys? So Ghillie also cares for children because he is concerned about the health of their teeth. In Scotland, many believe Ghillie to be a tooth fairy, which would explain why children can see him and adults can't. So that's just a cute little thing I couldn't find any more information on.
Okay.
Now, another reason why it may see me as a soft spot for children is because of a theory I have, and it's because he may be helping them transition from life to death.
Oh.
Now, this is when I went on a rabbit hole.
Okay.
And using my history brain, I connected all these dots. So I was looking into this legend. I thought, he has some major Peter Pan vibes.
Oh.
So I did this in the sense where he takes in lost children and he helps care for them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like cheery and all types of good to them, right? Yeah. And he's like a kid, appears as a kid. So there's a theory, I don't know if you know, that Peter Pan actually represents the angel of death. And when he promises children they never have to grow up and can go to Neverland with him, that's him actually taking them to the afterlife.
Okay.
So,
I can get with that one.
So we're getting there. So knowing the forest is sometimes described as the transition between life and death in folklore in this region, I felt like the two stories were connected. So I did so much digging, like an extremist right wing trying to justify a very, very wrong, inhumane opinion. And even though I couldn't find anything that directly said Ghillie Dhu inspired Peter Pan, I did learn that the creator of the original morbid story of Peter Pan was in fact born in a Scottish town in Kirriemuir in 1860s during peak popularity of the legend of Ghillie Dhu. I also learned that he had an older brother whom everyone loved that tragically passed away at a young age. Coincidence? I think not.
That makes a lot more sense than Bigfoot. I'll concede.
You'll get off the Bigfoot train and onto the Peter Pan train with it. So that, and one very fascinating thing about Scotland fairies is their connection to the underworld. It's never easy losing a loved one, especially when the loved one don't know what happened to the person and they can't find the body. So the idea of a loved one sinking to the bottom of a loch or disappearing in the forest, never to be seen again or get a proper burial, was just awful. And it was just really hard to cope with that trauma. So from an early age, people were told of how they just went to the Fae realm when we couldn't find them, because it was easier to digest. And that's where Ghillie Dhu comes in. If your child gets lost in the forest, it's easier to be like, oh, my child went with the forest spirit.
Yeah.
Then I'm not able to ever see them again. So this is how it's all connected to the inspiration of Peter Pan, because the theory of Peter Pan taking children that are passing away, lost or scared, to another world and keeping them safe, and then sometimes returning them home if that's what they really wish. Ghillie Dhu also wears mossy plant clothes. Big brain moment. I'm proud. I've done it. That's it. I don't have to do anything else for the year.
No, yeah. You solved it. Now, it's still possible that Bigfoot is also Peter Pan, but for sake of time, I will hold on to my opinions until we circle back to Bigfoot. Because I'm sure we'll do another episode at some point.
There's so many different types of Bigfoot too. There's like skunk ape. I can't even think of all the other ones right now, but there's a bunch. Yeah. They're out there.
I'm going to now. This is completely off topic, and I apologize, but I'm going to Colorado in a couple weeks, and my friend I'm visiting told me we're going somewhere. They won't tell me where. That'll be really good for the podcast. And I feel like it's going to be a Bigfoot thing, which I don't know. Is Bigfoot in Colorado? I think they are. But it's all I've been thinking about.
Listen, you must take
to stay on Bigfoot,
all the photos.
Yeah. But they won't tell me what it is. So I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, completely off topic. I was just thinking about it because we were talking about Bigfoot,
It's actually Ghillie Dhu. You're going to go see.
I'm going to the Ghillie Dhu Castle in Colorado. Yeah, they won't tell me where. And, Yeah.
Well, take lots of photos because then we have content for our social media. Absolutely. And I don't have to make stuff. Hell yeah, you'll have to let me know how that goes. Okay, now it's time for is it science or the church? And then an owl will howl because I forgot to send you audio stuff and it's right there on my board.
So this one feels cheap, but it's the church. I'm not gonna applaud myself on this one. It's the church.
You couldn't have gotten this one wrong.
No, this one makes you feel better. Pretty hard. I'll do like a just a real quick one. Nope. What was that?
I guess not. I guess the universe said, nope, you don't even deserve.
I get like a half clap. I don't get a full clap.
I need to figure out like a good cheering sound and a booing. I want to do like what I think Mothman cheering would sound like and Mothman booing in disappointment. That's the disappointment. And then the cheering.
Just static screeching.
Send us your static Mothman example.
Yeah.
So we can use it in the show. So it's actually a little bit of both.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, you couldn't have gotten this wrong.
Oh.
And I love this photo so much. He looks just so full of joy.
Vibing.
It's like a long, not quite stick figure, a little bit more fleshed out with like a little wizard hat. Like if you took Dobby from Harry Potter and made his legs super long and his arms super long and you gave him a sense of joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like. So we talked about how the church considered fairies to be demons in our Changeling episode. Mm-hmm. Knowing that and the connection to Ghillie and the connection he has to death, one can see how the church considered this mystical fae to be a demonic omen of death that would lead people to hell.
Naturally.
Of course, this was a great way to get people to join the church train, but because Ghillie Dhu was kind with those who were kind to the forest, this idea did not stick. Now, there was also the theory that Ghillie Dhu was just a malnutritioned boy lost in the forest that had kind of gone mad, which is sad.
It's possible.
We're gonna ignore that one. Yes, but it's possible. And it could also be a boy with a congenital disorder, much like a changeling, or a serious medical condition. So since Ghillie has never been captured, though, there's no proof. And I love the idea of a Fae Peter Pan. So that's what I'm going to stick with.
Theory number 4, according to our YouTube chat, Ghillie Dhu is not Bigfoot. However, Ghillie Dhu is Bigfoot's Scottish cousin. Thank you, chat. That one checks out.
Bigfoot's just going to have the most wild family tree the more we talk about
could you imagine?
Different Bigfoots.
Mermaids are just Bigfoots of the ocean. The biggest foot. All right.
The foot's the fin. That's why it's so large.
You know what time it is, though?
God, what time is it, Ryan?
Mother freaking modern takes with Ryan. Boo, 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 boo. I still need a song for this part, but we're gonna fake it. So, as you may imagine from us earlier saying, there is just nothing on Ghillie Dhu. However, Kimmy found a new spot for the Aloreing travel bucket list that one day we will do. So in Edinburgh, Scotland, there is a place called the Ghillie Dhu Pub and Restaurant that is a Scottish pub inspired by this local fae. It's in a castle. I don't know if everything in Scotland is just in castles. It might be. I don't know. But this restaurant is, and I can't afford to go to Scotland, and Kimmy probably can't right now either. But if we have any listeners in Scotland, please go visit and send us a picture, and I will personally buy you a drink if you send us a photo of you at the Ghillie Dhu pub and restaurant. That is all.
Bonus point if you have an Aloreing sticker when you do it.
Then I'll buy you two drinks.
Two.
You can get something
I
fancy.
will send the sticker.
Yeah.
You can combine it and make a cocktail.
Yeah. Wear your Bigfoot hat. And don't forget your sword.
Don't forget your sword. Jesus.
I just assume they all got one, It's in a castle,
I think Ryan just thinks everyone in Scotland lives in a castle and has a sword.
Okay, if this restaurant is in a castle, who am I to say that everyone just doesn't live in a castle? Fair. I think that's a fair assumption. Unless someone can prove otherwise. Assumption. I'm not going to Google it.
If I had to be stereotyped, I would much rather have that one.
Yeah.
So, solid. No, send us your pictures. And you know what? Even though we can't afford it now, with your guys' help from Patreon, we may be able to in the future.
One day.
One day. We'll get there. We'll get there. When this is full time, we'll totes get there. Speaking of Patreon, we got some announcements.
Yes, we do. All right. Everybody, we are coming up on, I don't know how this happened, 2 years of doing this podcast. That's just fucking crazy. I'm going off script a little bit. It does not feel like it's been 2 years. That being said,
I had to do the math today.
Yeah,
I was like,
43 episodes.
Like, how fucking long?
Like,
it's because we're just bi-monthly because Ryan and I both work full time and we want to take time to make really fleshed out episodes.
Yeah, we could do this weekly, but they'd be 5-minute episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have some fun stuff coming up. Can't talk about it now, but we are dreamers and have big goals. And we would love if we could hit 100 5-star reviews on iTunes by May. That being said, we obviously can't do that without your help. So get your phone, get your brother's phone, your sister's phone, your mother's phone, your father, your grandparents, your neighbors, your dog, your cat. Just go steal phones. Just kidding. Don't do that. And if they have an iPhone, go to the Apple Podcast right now. Give us 5 stars. It'd be much appreciated. And, maybe leave a comment that says Team Cryptid. Now... Or
Team Folklore, because Team Folklore is where it's at.
There's 1 or 2 of them out there. But, and we have a special giveaway just for written iTunes reviews. So you can totally use this as a way to have multiple entries. And I'm pretty sure even if you don't have an iPhone, you could just make an Apple account on your computer.
Yes.
So I'm not saying to do that, but if you want to.
Listen, if you and your partner listen to this show and you both write a review and we had I don't know, what's basic math? 10 people do it, we'd hit our goal.
Yeah. Boom. We're right there. We're very close.
We're so close.
Yeah. Then our 3-year one will be begging for Spotify reviews, Yeah. So now if you're not Team Apple and you don't have an iTunes ID, no worries. Spotify also exists, and we'd appreciate 5 stars on there. Getting those reviews on those platforms help us reach the almighty algorithm gods. Praise be. Which means we get more campers to hang out around the campfire and listen to our episodes, which means we can keep doing this show for another stinking year, which is crazy. When it's 3 years, I'm gonna, man.
That's when Ryan will really contemplate his life decisions.
You know, once we're talking like, about meat swords for 60 episodes. But yeah, so for a direct link, check out our show notes or go to aloreing.com/links. That's all I got.
And if you aren't, make sure you go follow us on Instagram because boy, oh boy, we got some giveaways happening, you know? At the moment, we're doing a magical Loveland Frogman giveaway with the creator from Crypto Theology. He is an absolute gem, so you should go check out his stuff just because, like, he's so sweet anyway. Yeah. But he does some amazing comic-style cryptid artwork, and he has made the coolest Loveland Frogman miniature.
It's so freaking cool.
For one of the prizes. I want it so bad. It's so cool. And he's designed this, like, just all of it. He has, like, a Frogman wizard shirt design and poster part of the giveaway. So, like, when this episode's actually live, it's only up for, like, a few more days. So, like, go enter and go check out his shop.
It's the cutest shit I've ever seen.
And it glows. It's like a green glowy material. It's so fucking cool. I love it so much. We also have one with like creature kids books coming up, with cryptid comforts coming up, and we have like a few more kind of in the works. We also, I think we're going to do one with the Strange Talk radio show. That's like, Ryan, I don't know. I sent you the link to their episode.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's a show, a radio show, and it's also you and I. They have the same.
It's literally us energy. From an alternate timeline, and it's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
He does like film, and she like also does design and like IT, and it just like makes
it honestly
me really
creeps me out a little bit, like because. You sent me them, and I listened to a lot of their episodes, and I was like, "This is weird."
Yeah, it was really weird. Anyway, there's like, they're great. It's just like I was tripping balls, and I needed Ryan to know that if he was, it wasn't just him. Anyway, that's just like some of the people we have projects coming up with. We have so many more amazing shows we can't wait to work with, and so many amazing people in the cryptid, strange, folklore community that have been reaching out, which means we can do more little giveaways for all you folks so that you guys get to check it all out. The person that wrote doppelgangers in our messaging thing, oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, she has short doppelgangers behind her. Don't worry, she's not on the podcast.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Charles.
Yeah, we have like, for being the tabloid of the folklore world, a lot of people want to work with us, and I appreciate all of them. I'm very excited for how many what do we call them, swaps we're doing. Very excited.
Yeah, we episode swaps, because then we could hang out with them twice. Like, people think it's just like a public relations, get word out, but honestly, I just like these people. I want to like chat with them two times.
The episode swaps we've done in the past have been some of my favorite, because we always like talk for like hours before and after, and it's the best.
I'm very like, when I look for people, I'm like, who can be chaotic with us? And I find the most amazing human beings, and I love it so much. But anyway, complete tangent. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. We have a lot of giveaways, so do make sure you're following us on Instagram so you can get access to those prizes and find just some more cool people in the strange folklore cryptid community that we also adore. We are on Instagram at Aloreing Podcast, all one word. And for direct links, you can go to our website, aloreing.com, and click on Aloreing, and then you'll find all our direct links there. Or you can do aloreing.com/links, LINKS. And that's all we got for announcements.
That's all we got.
Now it's time.
All right. So we're pretty much on the same page on this one.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, I had it a little more chaotic at first, but I was like, it's hard. There's just not enough out there to put it lawful or chaotic.
Yeah, the church really didn't get its reins into him enough to.
I usually don't take into consideration when I do my alignment chart the Catholic Church. But yeah, there's just not enough out there. I mean, it does technically like kidnap people, but it's usually only ones who are trying to like destroy the forest. So I mean, you know,
he kidnaps bad people. Does that make him?
That's what I'm saying. You know, just because he's a bad guy doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah,
it's all in context. Yeah, it's not in context in tone. It's how you present
and I guess for our audio listeners, me and Kimmy both have it just straight neutral good, like smack dab in the center. Mine is a little to the right, but that's just because I wanted you to like be able to see that I was behind you. But yeah, same page.
You could put the camera in front, right?
Yeah, but then you know, Kimmy, I'm not the smartest person out there. I'm just here to read poems in a bad Scottish accent, and you know, people don't listen to me for my brain, you know.
It's okay. I get it. As the one podcast host that has a little bit of a speech problem, and her lisps sometimes are a little stronger than
we're pushing through.
We're again, tabloid energy is what we're here for. That's what we're thriving in.
Yes.
2023. 2023, tabloid and me. So what are our episode takeaways? Do you want to go first?
If you're ever thirsty, consider quenching yourself in the sap of the Beithe.
And I thought I was done with it. I thought I was done. And then I'll do your thing. I want to do like Ghillie's like Bigfoot's cousin or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good one. Shout out to MH and the live chat. that's the live chat's takeaway.
The live chat's takeaway. I'm trying to think. Let me see. Let me. Oh. I want to do something with Peter Pan. Let me think. You had your sword one, and Ghillie is the real lost boy.
Oh,
I like that one.
Okay.
That feels powerful. Scratch your Bigfoot one. Toss that one out to the side. Yeah. I want my Peter Pan one in here.
I'm so excited for this episode title.
We're gonna end the episode and then we're gonna brainstorm that for a minute.
If it's not, if for our audio listeners, if it's not the Veiny sword of Ghillie Dhu, then I didn't get my way. So, Chris, leave that in.
I have to write it down, Jesus. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
You just have the most alluring day. Go quench your thirst with some sap, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.